Next on the list is new intake, new carburetor. So some issues we're going to run into when we're swapping out this carb with the new intake is it's going to sit a lot lower. So we're going to have to reuse this base. Otherwise it messes up your linkage. We're going to have to figure out some place to hook up our dipstick because we're fixing to lose this mount. And there's a water line over here that runs from the heater that used to, you know, all of that other stuff. So we're going to have to drain the coolant down because when we pull it out, when we pull this off, it's going to drain the head. Get that coolant out of there. That's why I don't want to turn the car on and get everything hot. And then we're taking that mechanical pump off and getting rid of everything else. So in this episode, we're going to remove the intake manifold, put on the Vic single plane and a new carburetor, and then plumb everything up. So this is from the last video where we put in an electric fuel pump just to make sure we got pressure. Here's the new stuff over here. So this is the new Vic Auto single plane intake. It's plumbed for 16 by 1.5. So this came off the old manifold. Remember when we took this out when we were desmogging? So we can thread this back in here and use it for our vacuum for our booster. Make sure you order a gasket. So this is the old style, right? So this is where that water is, and this is where your crossover is for your exhaust. We're not going to need those. And then this is the new carburetor. So it comes with instructions. It comes with the carb, right? So this is just the same as we got before. DFAV. But it's brand new, so we won't have any problems out of it. This one comes with a vent. We can hook up or we can plug. And the kit comes with the linkage and filter. And it's got these little, well, it's got the gaskets. Base gaskets, other gaskets. And then it has a stud kit too, but I don't use these studs because they're too small. So we're going to pull the studs out of the old unit and use that. We have to change the linkage on the carb to fit our application. It's not that hard. I'll walk you through it. The first thing you're going to do is disconnect the battery. Okay? Just disconnect the positive terminal. Because we're working right over the starter and right over the alternator, and you're going to drop a wrench and it's going to arc everything out. So disconnect the battery and then you don't have to worry about blowing everything up. So I'm going to take my fuel lines loose because we're not going to need them anyway. And we will run this later on in the video. So to get this linkage off, you just pop these things back, these clips. And then it pops off and we can move it out of the way. So I'm gonna take the carb off now only because it's easier for y'all to see. You could do it all at one time, but getting your hand under that intake is a pain. So it's kind of easier to do it this way. So you can see how this thing is soaked, and we weren't even doing anything, so I got some concerns about it. We need to this will pop off. This will pop off. It won't pop off. This will pop off. So we used some gasket sealer on there, but it didn't work. I mean, it did work, but there's fucking gas everywhere. I think I can work around it. This fucker gets in my way all the time. I'm gonna tuck it back over there. I'm gonna take off this brake booster hose. It's about 3 feet too long. Oh, and look, it just pops off anyway, so even better. You gotta take loose this dipstick attachment right here. And we're just gonna pull the dipstick out for now. Just pull it straight up and the whole thing comes out. So now everything's free from our intake manifold. Next, I gotta drain the coolant. Otherwise it's gonna come pouring out of here. And then it's a race to try to get it back in, and you just spill shit everywhere. There's a little bit of fuel residue over here on the side. I think that carb was leaking out of the butterfly. So I drained the radiator. Should have plenty of room in here now to get this. Let me see. I'll pop this off. Where's my light? Yeah. Well, I should be well below. So there's really no easy way to do this. Most of it's going to be by feel. Most of it. So there's one right here. But the angle's off. So you're going to need every extension and every one. So there's bolts and then there's studs. So there's another bolt right here. Number two. Where it really gets difficult is when this brake master assembly gets in the way. And I flipped it to off or on, so now I'm flipping it to off. Three. Well, there's a stud right here. And so it's going to push us all the way back. Got to try to locate it with this hand. You got it. And get the wrench on there with this hand. You got it. I had it. So this fucking clamp is in the way. Right in the way, dude. Let me see if I can move that over without. That's a knuckle. I'm getting a smidge at a time. We will rearrange everything under there for when we have to reinstall. Got it. Got it. I got it. Come here. Fucking dick. Number 3. That looks a little too long. But we'll see. Hold on. So we gotta go down all the way and then over this hose because it's in the way, so we can technically just come down this way and be on top of the hose. And then you gotta reach here, go down, fucker. And then come up. Come on. Yeah, that didn't work at all, did it? Well, I got the washer. Oh, it hit the floor, even better. So that was number 4. And then of course the last one is way up under here. Under this hose. So I'm gonna take this hose loose and we're probably gonna spill some coolant, but it shouldn't be too much. This is gonna run back over to your heater core. Well, actually the pipe. So we're gonna have to block this off because it's no longer needed. And I just put that thing on there. It shouldn't be that fucking hard. Okay, so a couple drips, not too bad. I'm gonna move this somewhere where I can see it so we don't forget about it. Okay, So now you can see the last one right here. So I think I can get it like this. Except for the part where the throttle cable's in the way. The wrench is too long and I'm only getting one click. I don't remember what number that was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this intake should be loose. Now it's going to be stuck on there because of that gasket. Unless we forgot a bolt. Let me double check. We did. There's another one over here somewhere. Oh, right there. Goddamn. So there's one here and there's one there. I think. So I'm coming down. This fucking hose. Around this fucking hose. Down here. Come on! The fuck! Alright. Sorry, I'm hung up on a gasket. And that is all. Get off! Dang, look at that. So I was hitting on this. This was in my way a little bit. Look, that's not even tight. Son of a bitch. Let me go seal up these wounds. I'll be right back. Okay. So we got intake off. And then I cut up some rags and I plugged the intake runners on the head. We don't want to get a bunch of schmutz down in there. So we're going to clean and degrease some of this as we go along. This was busted my knuckle, so we're going to turn this sideways. We're going to flip this. This is coming off. And then we're going to build a blocker plate. So there's a little doodad that's going to come out. See it? That's the arm. And then I've disconnected these fuel lines. So we don't need them. Come on, fucker. God bless America. It's dripping gas. Got it. So we want to make sure we get all this old gasket stuff off of here. We want a nice clean surface. So we're going to be scraping that. But that's going to come in a little bit. First we're going to degrease most of this motor. So let me get a cardboard. Oh, the Vicks Auto Box. So this is going to be our brake booster hose. I'm going to tuck this out of the way. This fucking elephant hose. Tuck it out of the way. Sort of. That has to get sealed. This goes to vacuum advance. I'm just going to pull that off while I'm here for cleaning purposes. Because I got it on there once. No, I'm not. Am I? No, I'm not. I'm not going through that again. So we don't need these. We can go like this and cut them off. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying you just could have unbolted those. You're right, I could have. Here's my theory. Somebody left that. It's not even hooked up. My theory when it comes to working on these cars, if it's not leaking, don't touch it. Okay? I'll smooth this out so I don't cut myself, and we'll just keep working. Okay, so that takes care of that part of my problem. Now that looks a lot better. I don't like any of it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a block off plate and put that on. And then I'm going to push this car outside, soak it, and hit it with the low power pressure washer to get all of this off of there. So y'all take a break and we'll be right back. So last night I soaked all of this stuff with cleaner degreaser, some WD-40. Looks like some of it's coming loose. Yeah, it's gooey. So we're gonna push it outside and hit it with the power washer right here.